G'day, how you going? Hope you're well. Saturday the 8th of November. Apologies, I'm dragging the chain with editing a bit, but just a time of year where it's hard to get any amount of time in the office. So, anyway, that's all right. Recap of what we're up to. So doing the second flush on the rice at the moment. It'll finish this morning or today. It's run over it really quickly. I think we had it started Thursday morning. I think we started, and we're gonna obviously finish this morning. So again, just trying to juggle the water so we don't have too much excess and don't have to pump too much. So but I think hopefully it'll work out pretty well. I think Lily's windrowing, so we'll finish one of the contract jobs this morning and then get moved down to, we're going to probably start on some of our own. We are, not probably going to. So we've got 60 hectares of our own we'll probably do, and then out near Sarah's, we're going to move to Sarah's brother's place then, which is next door to our dry country. So he's got 120 hectares there, and then we'll just see, we're sort of getting to the pointy end of it, like it's all pretty good going. We're not, by sort of Wednesday, I would have thought we'll have it all done. So, sort of all ticking along pretty well at the moment, no breakdowns, touch wood. So we've only got sort of 1.5 bays left down the bottom here to flood. So we'll go up the top, and you can actually, Miranda came and looked Thursday. I had a look myself Wednesday night, and I was just a bit concerned because we weren't, just had that crust on top of the surface, and the 15 mil of rain probably wasn't quite, in saying that, it probably was enough, because even yesterday, there's been more come through. So since Miranda and I looked, but I was just a bit worried where it was quite hard that just those seedlings weren't going to push through. So anyway, this will be a pretty quick flush, which will be good. And even this morning, you can see a light green tinge across some of this. Camera probably won't show it up, but we'll go up where we have watered, and you'll be able to you can definitely see it up there. So still trying to get hay pressed. So we finished cutting hay, which is good finally, and finished. We've still got raking to do on the freshly cut stuff, but the earlier stuff that was cut before the rain's been raked up. I've got the big square baler out at our oats. So they have lost a lot of colour, which I think I mentioned in one of the last videos. What will we do? We will, try and, I'll just see. I was trying to try and get the baler going. There's only about 20 hectares left down where we're windrowing, and it's irrigated. It's under a pivot. It's irrigated. It's green enough, so there's no super panic. So Lily's going to come over this morning. Jay will come out after he works Saturday mornings as well, so he's going to come out. So we'll have a few hands on deck. Did have Lily in the windrow yesterday, so just trying to teach her up. So hopefully I can get her in it a bit in the next few days, just to give her a crack at it. And she handled it, no dramas at all. So it was dry land crop where we were, and not very heavy, so it was a good crop to learn in. So anyway, we'll get up this other end here. This water probably wants another hour or so before I change it. But I changed it at sort of 6, and it's 7:30, so it's running across it really quickly, which is good. So camera probably might not show it up that well, but we do have green rose this morning, which is really good. So should be good. Hopefully, we just need that bit of pooling and that. We're battling for warm weather at the moment. It's bloody weird. And we've got a rice extension have a WhatsApp group going, so I don't know, there's a fair few other growers in it, and everyone's saying, sort of, or complaining, I suppose, how slow everything is. How slow the crops are just with the cooler weather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the pivot here on the new lucerne. The pivot dam is full, and we'll probably, I'm thinking we're going to have too much water. So what I might do is, when I'm probably trying to divert a bit of water into the pivot dam, so I just need to get it going and give us a bit of room so we can, again, we haven't got to pump it twice. You can see where we've got quite good plant numbers in spots, but we just need to. And there are probably more coming. Well, there's more coming. But yeah, there's even some here that hasn't shot all together. So we've just got a bit of heavy country in this paddock here. You can nearly see the green line. And there are little plants there, but we just need to keep it damp if we can to get them up and going. So I'm just going to put 15 mil on it. I'm probably going to have enough. No, mate, you're not supposed to be there. Volunteer corn. Just to try and help get it up and going. Some spots you sort of can't see much seed at all. There's a few little green. Oh yeah, they're coming. It is there, but it's just we just haven't had the rain to. We were a bit late to the party getting its own, but again we haven't had much rain for the spring as it is. So at least this stuff, we can keep watering this and salvage it. The soil type changes over on the eastern side of the paddock. We've got a bit more red loamy soil, so it's come up a lot better. The flood irrigation, I don't know what to do with it. It's bloody barely there. Like, it really wants 30 mil of rain on it. So we'd probably need to make a call at some stage what we do with it. It does have quite a lot of burrs across it, so worst case scenario. These little fellas, worst case scenario, we spray it out, which is not ideal because there's been a fair few bucks in seed go in there, but I don't know how long the seed will sit there. But you can see here, there's quite a few that have just shot on that last rain. So sort of same old sort. Not that I've been watching it, but come back in a week and it should be green. But I just want to keep that. Just try and keep those little fellas going if we can. If this wet spring turns up that they're supposed to be talking about, it'll be good. But anyway, I'll believe it when I see it. So wind's up again, which is a pain in the bum. But anyway, so I'll go and get the motor going and the pump going and get some water through this thing. So the moment of truth. So we've finished where we were with the windrower, and we've just moved on to our own block. So this is the new block. There's 125 hectares here. It's sort of, I was humming and hawing. We looked up the west end, where sort of closer to our house, and it probably could have stood for a little bit longer. But when we got down this eastern end, it was quite dry. So we just thought, we're coming past. We'll cut it now because it'll be. It could be Tuesday, could be four or 5 days before we get back here. So we'll just do it now and see how we go. So Lily's knocked off. She's done a good job. Jay's on it now. So what we're doing, we are taking a fair bit of stubble because the plan is we'll have a laser bucket in here over the summer. So we'll, it means we're gonna have to process the stalk through the header, but it's better to probably smash it up that way than try and have to chop it up or something with a disc later on. So but there is pretty reasonable row there actually. If all the pods have got seed in them, it'll probably be alright. But turned into a real windy bugger of a day. It's just horrendous. I've been carting the drone around with me to put it up and get a bit of footage, but I won't be doing it today because it's too bloody windy. So so we do have a hose that's leaking. Just old age. I think the hose that runs the for the draper mats on the front, so it is sort of weeping in a couple of spots. I've taken a couple of photos and measured it, and that I'm just going to go home and see whether I've got some fittings and a bit of hose that we might be able to dodgy something up just to get us through. Failing that, I'll give Dan in at Specialised Hydraulics in town a ring and see whether he can make one up for me. But I didn't have a tape measure with me to measure it, which isn't the end of the world. So yeah, anyway, it's all going all right at the moment. But yeah, it's just we probably need to get a hose on standby, because it'll sure as hell it'll go at 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, so plan is, if it doesn't, I'll see what I do with this hose. But if the wind stays up, I'll probably have a rest, go and have a sleep probably, and yeah, I won't get any baling done tonight. The guys are still, that we were sort of hoping would take the oats, are still keen on it. So yeah, so we'll put them all in big squares. Alright, we'll go and see if we can find some fittings and a bit of hose, and yeah, failing that, we'll give Dan a call. Just doing a dinner run for Jay. Ran around the outside to get to the other end of the paddock, so I don't have to wait for too long. So, but got some good rows here. Yeah, it looks alright actually. Sun's in a bad spot. Where are we? A couple of little hamburgers and a can of Coke for dinner. Oh. The wind's wicked, it is terrible, and it's got cold too. Roads aren't too bad, pretty, like it'll be interesting to see when we get the header in here, but there's nothing, yeah, given how late the crop came up and the in-crop rainfall we've had, we're only around that 250 mil total rainfall for the year so far. So, and, you know, the 15 or so mil we've had in the last, well, 15 to 30 mil, I suppose, we've had in bits and pieces in the last month. You can't, or last 3 weeks anyway, you probably can't add to that in-crop rainfall because the crop is about done. So, yeah. Good long runs. I think it's 1.2 Ks end to end, something like that. So yeah, pretty easy going, especially when the crop's standing the way it is. Young bloke, keen to work. It's good to see. We've got a leaky hose. The hose is old, and I've actually had it run me around and found one that, yeah, that we can replace it with if we need to. But we had to slow him down the other day. He did a job he did, and we're having a bit of trouble with the GPS, but he was just going a bit quick, and the 10 or 11 K seems to be about the sweet spot. So now that he's sort of pulled back on the stick a little bit, he's yeah, the job he's doing is bloody improved out of sight, so which is good. So, but yeah, wants to. So what time do you want to knock off? Oh, 10 or 11 o'clock. Oh no, 10, 11:30, 12 o'clock. I'm like, oh no. So there we go. Yeah. But yeah, as I said, it's cold and the wind's up. I don't think we won't get any baling done anyway, I don't think. So anyway, the wind might drop off a bit as the sun goes down. We'll just yeah, see how it goes. But anyway, I could possibly go home and go to sleep for for 4 or 5 hours and then, you know, drive it through the night. And yeah, we'd get this paddock finished by daylight if we needed to go that hard, but we probably don't need to go that hard. So anyway, it's all going well. Been running about an hour, just a bit over 70 hectares done. So we're about 1.2k runs, so it's sort of pretty, it's good, very good going. So paddock still, you know, levelling where we filled channels in and that sort of stuff. It is a bit rough in spots as the, you know, channels sink and that sort of thing. So yeah, but it's machine's ticking along pretty well, touch wood. So probably it's nearly midnight. I'm not going to go too late. I'll probably go to try and go to 1 o'clock if I can, do another hour, and then we'll sort of leave 50 hectares roughly. We've probably actually done a bit more than 70 hectares. We'll probably be closer to 75, so that'll sort of leave 50 hectares in the morning to do. So Jay, I come and took over from Jay a bit before 11, so yeah, but no, it's rocking along pretty well. Reasonably happy with the crop, given the rain we've had, so it'll just be interesting to see how it yields once we get the header in here. Yeah, sort of thinking around that 1.5 tonne to the hectare, which will be a pretty good result on around that 250 mil for the year, and we generally should get 450 mil on a, well, whatever average is nowadays. So yeah. But no, we've got the, as I said, I need to talk about the GPS. You can hear the rattling of the steering wheel, and it's just part and parcel of that sort of setup, where you've got a motor on top of the steering column, effectively. So yeah, it is reasonably noisy. It's quite quiet when you're well, it's a vast contrast when you go back to steering it by hand. It's a lot more quieter in here. So I've got another neighbour. He might have just knocked off actually. Was working a couple of paddocks over from me. I could see his lights, but I can't see lights now, so he might have pulled up. So anyway, we'll get out of here tomorrow at some stage. I think Jay's going to come back about 8:30. Yeah, whether I'll try and get up about 6 and yeah, get it going again, and you know, by lunchtime we'll nearly be finished. Get moved out the back. The 60 hectares that we'll do straight away now, and then yeah, back onto sort of the contracting job. Then we'll sort of got 125 in one paddock in front of us then. So yeah, it's all going pretty well. Righto, knock off time. It's about 2:30, so there's about 20 hectares left here. I think we've done about 120 hectares for the day, which is a pretty good day. Yeah, obviously you've got to sit on it, keep the wheels turning to be able to do that, but this block here's helped us, that you can see. So I've actually cut through. There's a bit of it sort of steps. There's a block here, patch here. So I've actually cut through. There's a little triangle block here behind us, and then yeah, I think there's only probably 20 hectares at the most left, so we'll get that in the morning. Yeah, the shading's been counting all the time, so when we're turning, it's still counting on the GPS. So I reckon we've probably done another 5 hectares just with turning around at the ends. So there's 125 here, so yeah, a couple of hours in the morning, and then we'll move out the back farm, and there's 60 out there. So yeah, no, making good progress, which is nice. It's bloody cold. The wind has dropped off a bit, so hopefully in the morning, Jay's going to be here about 8, 8:30. I'll try and get back here by about 7, and might even be able to get out and get a couple of hours baling while he's finishing up here. So would be ideal. So probably don't actually need to get here till he gets here. So yeah, and then that'll give me a bit more time to baling, but we're going to have to be here to give him a hand to shift. So that'll be the only thing. So, all right, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.